Shabbat Shalom, everyone. We are so excited to be here, gathered virtually or online, to celebrate Mari becoming a Bat Mitzvah this morning. This is such a special Shabbat because it's also the first day of the holiday of Sukkot, which Mari's going to tell us or teach us about later on in her Devar. And joining her at her house are some really special people. We have Mari, we have her mom and dad, we have her younger sister, we have her grandmother and her Uncle Matt and her Aunt Jen and her cousins. And also hidden away somewhere is her cat Matzah. So we have a whole crew gathered at her house this morning to celebrate this very special Shabbat. And so we begin with gratitude. Gratitude for Shabbat, for Sukkot, and for Mari becoming a Bat Mitzvah. And we do this with the words of Modeh, Modah, Modenet Ani. So Mari, as we move through our Siddur, we are at the bottom of page 2 for everyone following along. If you want to follow along, the Siddur can be found on our website at centralreform.org. Should be easy to find if you just scroll down a bit. So we're at the bottom of page 2 with our Talis presentation. And Mari, I know we're going to hear about this really special talis in a video, but our hope is that as you are surrounded in this talis, that you always feel not only the hug of your tradition as you wrap yourself in your tradition, but also the hug and the feeling and the warmth from how special this talis is to you and to your family. So we have a video from your great Uncle David and your great Aunt Jessica, who are going to tell us a little bit about this talis.
Today, Uncle David and I take joy in celebrating with you, Mari, as you become a Bat Mitzvah.
I am particularly pleased that your grandma and I could pass on to you a precious Khan family heirloom. The talis worn by your great-great-grandfather we know as Nathan Khan. His Hebrew name was Naphtali, and he changed his surname from Kogan to Khan when he immigrated to the United States over 100 years ago. Mari, we owe a great debt to Nathan. We are all here to mark this occasion today only because of his willingness to take a chance on a better future in America. Today, you make a commitment and embrace your history. The history of Nathan, his son Isidore, his granddaughter Angie, and his great-granddaughter Julie. You commit to a better future, and that's a family tradition.
In this COVID time, we cannot be with you in Clayton, but our love for you, for Livy, for your parents is as strong as ever. And we know you can feel it 1,000 miles away.
Enjoy this special day.
Oh, Mari, that was beautiful. So we invite up your grandma to present you with this talis as you wrap yourself in generations of your family and our tradition. Mari, it looks perfect. And so once you're situated, why don't you lead us in the blessing?
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitchanu v'totav v'tzivanu v'hidatef b'tzitzit.
It's perfect. And so we continue our morning blessings with the words of Ma Tovu. How lovely are your tents, O Jacob, your dwelling places, O Israel. For those following along, we are towards the bottom of page 3 with Birchot HaShachar, our morning blessings. We continue the theme of gratitude as Mari leads us in these next set of blessings.
Please chant together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asani b'tzlamo. Blessed are you, eternal Lord God, who has created me in your image. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asani b'horim. Blessed are you, the eternal Lord God, who has made me free. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asani Yisrael. Blessed are you, the eternal Lord God, who has made me Israel. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam pakeach v'ivrim. Blessed are you, the eternal Lord God, who opens the eyes of the blind. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shalomim. Blessed are you, the eternal Lord God, who provides clothes for the needy. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hanoten nayef koach. Blessed are you, the eternal Lord God, who gives strength to the weak. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher chayachim b'tzadei gaver. Blessed are you, the eternal Lord God, who guides the steps of human beings. Yikdav yikdash shemei rabba v'amad yivrach yotev yomichnoteh v'chayechon uvyomechon ufeidecho b'Yisrael. Ba'agala uvizman karif v'imru amen. Yehi shemei rabba mevorach ayala u'amei amaya yitbarach yibrav yishtabah v'yipar v'yirama v'yaseh v'yithadar v'yithale v'yithalal shemei nechidusha b'richu v'yalam min kol b'chata v'shirata Tushbecha Tavane Emata Dami Rabbeama Vimru Amen. In nature, nothing is perfect, and everything is perfect. Trees can be contorted, bent in weird ways, and they're still beautiful. Please rise as we call each other to pray with the Baruch Hu. If I am I because I am I, and you are you because you are you, then I am I and you are you. But if I am I because you are you, and you are you because I am I, then I am not I and you are not you. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, yotzer ur u'borei choshen, osei shalom u'borei et hakol, hame'ir la'aretz v'ladarim, alecha barachamim. Uv tovo mechadesh bekol. Yom tamid me'asech v'reshit. Ma rabu ma'asecha Adonai. Kulam b'chochma asita. Mal'ah ha'aretz kinyanecha. Titbarach Adonai Eloheinu. Al shevach me'aseh yadecha. V'al me'orei or she'asita. Yaf'arucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai yotzer ha'orot. Together. In some special way, every person completes the universe. If I do not play my part, I enter the pattern of all existence. The strange stream of life that runs through my veins night and day, runs through the world and dances in rhythmic measures. It's the same life that shoots in joy through the distance of the earth, in numberless blades of grass, and breaks into tumultuous waves of leaves and flowers. It's the same life that is rocked in the ocean cradle of birth and death. In ebb and flow, I feel my limbs are made glorious by the touch of this world of life, and my pride is from the life throb of ages dancing in my blood this moment. Too often we underestimate the power of a touch, a smile, a kind word, a listening ear, an honest compliment, or the smallest act of caring, all of which have the potential to turn a life around. To me, the Shema reminds me of my first time learning about it in Hebrew school when I was in 4th grade. It made me feel welcome to the community my first time I was there. Everybody shared the warmth of his or her heart and pushed it around so everybody could feel it. Even though we can't do that today, we can spread it virtually through our eyes and mouths. Please join me in chanting the Shema. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Elohim, Adonai Echad. Please be seated. Ve'achata et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levacha, b'chol nafshecha, b'chol me'adecha, v'chayu ha'devarim ha'ele asher anuchi mitzavacha hayom alavecha ושנתה עליך ודיברת בם, ושיתך ביתך ובכך בדרך, ושלחתך ובקימך, וקשרתם על ידיך, וחיו תטפו בעיניך, ובטחתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. למען תזכרו תיתם אחוזותיי, והייתם קדושים אליכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, לחיות לכם אליכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. Together. You shall love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. Take to heart these words, which I command you this day. Teach them diligently to your children. Speak of them when you are at home and when you are away, when you lie down and when you arise. Blind them as a sign on your hand, and let them serve as symbols between your eyes. Inscribe them on your doorposts, on your house, and on your gates. Remember to do all my commandments and be holy to your God. I am your God, who let you out of Egypt, to be your God. I am your God. There are many types of ships. There are wooden ships, plastic ships, and metal ships. But the best and most important types are ships of friendships.
So we continue with the words of the Micha Mocha, which is in the middle of page 12.
Rise. Today you are you. That is truer than true. There is no one alive who is youer than you.
Perfect quote as we move into tefillah, into our time for prayer.
Love, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true, and with thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary for you.
Baruch atah Eloheinu.
Baruch atah Adonai.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avotinu Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Leah, Elohei Rachel, Ha'el Ha'gadol Ha'gibor Ha'ra, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Lekonei Hakol, Zocher Haskei Avot V'Imahot, Via Ge'ula Livnei V'nehem, L'man Shemo Be'achava, Melech Ozer U'Mashiach U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham Ve'ezrat Sarah. Together. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, and God of our fathers and mothers, God of Abraham, God of Isaac, God of Jacob, God of Sarah, God of Rebekah, God of Leah, and God of Rachel. You are the great, mighty, and awesome God, God supreme. You bestow good, kind deeds, possess everything, remember the kind deeds of our fathers and mothers. With love you bring redemption to their descendants for the sake of your name. You are our ruler, helper, savior, and shield. Blessed are you, Adonai, shield of Abraham, help of Sarah. Ata gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechayei hakol ata ra ve'oshia, Mechalkel hayim b'chesed, Mechayei hakol berachamim rabim. Zomech noflim v'rafei cholim, Umatir asurim, Umakayem emunato lishnei achar. Michamocha ba'al gevurot, Umidam ilach, Melech mimit, Umechaye, Umatmi yeshua, V'ne'eman ata lechiyot hakol. Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayecha hakol. The first thing you should know about me is that I'm not you. A lot more will make sense after that.
Mari, your quotes are just so wonderful and so spot on. I just love them throughout this service. We are at the top of page 17 with the Kedusha as we make our way through Tefillah.
Nekadesh Shimcha ba'olam, Kashem shemakdishim oto b'shmi marom, Kakatuv al yad neviecha, V'karazei el zeh ve'amar, Kadosh, 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 Adonai Tzevaot, Meloch haaretz, Kevodo. Adir, Adirenu Adonai, Adonenu Ma'adir, Shimcha b'chol haaretz, Baruch kevod Adonai mimkomo. Echad hu Eloheinu, hu Avinu, hu Malkeinu, hu Moshienu v'hu Yashmienu, barachamav le'nei chol chai. Ani Adonai Elohechem, צקים קדושתך נקדיש, ושבחה אלוהינו מפינו לא ימוש לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
Please
So,
be
Mari,
seated.
what do we tell? You got it. You nailed it. You may be seated, and we continue. We are in the middle of page 18 with Vashamru, which is words taken from the Torah that remind us that Shabbat is special. You know, we've had so many holidays lately, so many wonderful things. We had Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, and now we're in Sukkot, which is great, but it's also nice to be called back to our weekly holiday of Shabbat, and Vashamru does that for us.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורתם ולעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורתם ולעולם. בני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורתם ולעולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורתם ולעולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורתם ולעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורתם ולעולם, לדורתם ולעולם.
Enjoy the little things for one day. You may look back and realize that they were the big things.
So true. So we finish off our tefillah, our time for prayer, with a prayer for peace, peace for ourselves, and peace for our world. Our Rabbi Daniel is going to play this, but he has been producing this whole Bat Mitzvah, so we're going to get to hear a lovely Sim Shalom as he continues to produce.
שים שלום, טובה וברכה. שים שלום, טובה וברכה. שים שלום, טובה חסד ורחמים. עלינו ועל כל ישראל עמך. שים שלום טובה וברכה. שים שלום טובה וברכה.
So we pause for a moment of silence. Mari, you've had wonderful quotations throughout this whole service, and you can see a few more during our silent meditation on page 19. There are a couple Mari quotes on there, as well as quotes from some other people you probably recognize. So we'll pause for just a moment. Words of our hearts. Next, continue with our Torah service in the middle of page 20, and I will turn things over to Rabbi Susan.
Hi, Mari. Thank you for this lovely service. I think to begin the passing of Torah, we have a video from your Nana and your Papa. So we'd like to hear from them first.
We are so very proud of you, Mari. We have watched you grow and blossom, and to take on something as big a responsibility as this doesn't surprise us, but we are so glad you've done it and proud to see you.
Mazel tov.
Mazel tov. I love that. Mari, I hope you can feel all the generations as your Nana and Papa stand right there with you. I know your Grammy is there, so we're going to call her up to come and stand with you, as well as your parents to come and stand with you, so that we can pass this Torah from generation to generation. As they make their way there. Mari, I know that you can feel the influences. I love that you mentioned, let's put that in your Grammy's arms first. Hold on to that for a moment, Grammy, because I'm just going to talk to your granddaughter for just a second here. Mari, what I learned about you was that you are one of those very unique people who has that kol damama daka inside. You have that still small voice that is not just there, but you can actually hear. Your mother tells me that there isn't anything that she has to push you to do, that you are a self-motivated human being. And boy, do we need that today. People who know and really know how to listen to their hearts and then put that to work. So I love that you've mentioned your teachers and your thank yous, your teacher, Mrs. Banks, your music teacher, because I know you have a real gift for music. And that's something also nobody has to push you to do. You practice so that you can really make your art something beautiful and something holy. Your teacher, Julie Aronson, I know is standing there with you, your Hebrew teacher. And I'm not sure I'll say this right, but Mrs. D. Bisegli, right? Well, she must be a very special teacher too. So for all the teachers in your life and all the influences and all the shoulders you stand upon, certainly your Nana and Papa, who you just heard Mazel Tov from, your Grammy, who's standing right there with you, and of course, you know, your grandfather Martin, for whom you're named. I can see that you know that you stand on a lot of great shoulders, and I'm sure everybody can feel his presence there as well. So, my dear, included in this passing of Torah is also that still small voice that is in you, that pulls you to do all that you can do to be the very best Mari that you can be. You're making us all proud. I also learned that you wanted a bat mitzvah. Nobody had to push you to do this. And I hope and pray with all my heart, dear, that it is everything that you dreamed of, even in these strange and peculiar times, responding in holy ways to reach across airwaves to make us all feel connected, which is just what you're doing, has been a tremendous Mari gift for us all. So now I ask your beautiful Grammy, standing there with you, to pass it to your mother, to pass that Torah to your mother, who will pass it to your father, and together to give it to you so that we can sing together the words of the Shema. Words that aren't so much a prayer from us to God, but God to us, saying, listen, you God wrestlers, you people who think you know what is and what is not godliness. Know that you are part of something greater than yourself. We are all connected. And really today, it is a blessing. It is a blessing to be the one to pass this Torah into your arms so that you can add that Mari voice to the generations that have made Torah alive for us all, especially at this sacred time of Sukkot. So let's sing together the words of the Shema. Shema Yisrael,
Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo.
Beautiful. And now it's your sister is going. Now we'll invite your sister to come and help you undress the Torah. Your family can be seated as you prepare to read from this this wonderful Torah portion that is special for the holiday, the Shabbat within Sukkot, and then teach us all about your portion. Thank you, Lee. All you have to do is pull it right off. There you go. There you go. You got it. And now you can. Thank you, Libby.
So go on and find your space, your spot where you start. And we have a video for the first Aliyah for your Torah portion. So if you want to follow along with Mari reading, you can follow along at the bottom of page 21. And the blessing before the Torah reading is just above that on page 21. And so we have a video of your Uncle Dan, your Aunt Lori, your cousin Lauren, and your cousin Josh. So we say Ya'amdu, Daniel va'Esther va'Leah Sarah va'Ari Zavla Aliyah Rishona.
Baruch Adonai HaBarach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Asher Bachar Banu Mikol Ha'amim V'natan Lanu Et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Vaydaber Adonai al Moshe Lemor Tav et Bnei Yisrael ויקחו אליך שמן זית זך, כתית למאור, להעלות נר תמיד. מחוץ לפרוך את העדות, באוכל מועד, יערוך אותו אהרון מערב עד בוקר, לפני אדוני תמיד, חוקת עולם את דורותיכם.
That was beautiful, Mari. So set your yad down right where you finished, and we will have your aunt and uncle and cousin say the blessing after.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai, noten haTorah.
So we say amen. I love that they were holding your cousin on another screen as they were being filmed for the blessing. That was just perfect. So for the second aliyah, we invite up everyone at your house besides your parents and your sisters. So we invite up Grammar. Yep. Cousin Rachel and cousin Hannah. You make your way up and we'll call you up officially. Yeah, Andrew, Hannah, Matthew, Jennifer, Rachel, and Hannah La Aliyah Sheni. So whenever you are ready, you will lead us in the blessing before the Torah.
Baruch Hu et Adonai Hambarach.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach Leolam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Hamnara, Haftarah, Baruch, Hamirat, Ifnei Adonai Tamid, Vakata Solet, Vakita Chota, Shetem Eserei Chalot, Sheni Esronim, Yechye Hachalach Echad, Vishamta Otam, Shetaim Marachot, Sheisha Marachet, Al Hashulchan HaTahor, Ifnei Adonai.
Another beautiful aliyah and the blessing after.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. So we are going to ask everyone who's up there besides Mari to give her a little hug or a little pat on the back and have a perfect. And so if you all want to have a seat, we will invite up Mari's parents to join her as we call. So we invite up Julie and Chris to join Mari for this special moment as we call her to the Torah for the first time as a Bat Mitzvah. You know, Mari, I know you worked so hard to get to this day, and I'm going to talk about it in a moment. But for those who are at home who've never seen a Torah, you should know that Mari had to learn a whole new language, and she had to learn vowels. And then she had to learn it without vowels because the Torah doesn't have vowels in it. So you've read so beautifully, and we're all so proud of you and so excited to call you up as a Bat Mitzvah. But we lost your dad. So Mari, we will invite you up. Ta'amod, Maya Bat Chris Yosefa, La Aliyah Bat Mitzvah.
Baruch et Adonai Chamorah.
Baruch Adonai Hamorah Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Chamorah Leolam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher bachar bani mikol ha'amim v'natananu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'Torah. Natata ha'ma'arechet levona zaka v'chayta lechem laskara Yisrael Adonai. B'yom HaShabbat Yarcheinu Lifnei Adonai Tamid Me'epnei Yisrael Berit Olam. Shechem Yitem Kedoshim Yitem Lehem V'chata
La'aharon.
V'chata L'Aharon Ulvanav V'achaluhu B'mokom Kadosh Ki Kodeh Kedoshim Chu Lo Mesher Yahal So
Adonai.
Adonai Chol Golam.
That was perfect. Blessing after, Mari.
Baruch atah Adonai Melech haolam. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher natan lanu Torat emet. Chayei olam natan b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'Torah.
Amen. So let's get some hugs from your parents. You read so beautifully. And while they are giving you hugs, and before we invite your sister up to help you dress the Torah, before you share with us your words and your Haftorah, we pause for a Misha Berach, a prayer of healing. This is a prayer for anyone who needs some healing, mental, physical, spiritual, emotional healing, people who need extra blessings this week, this month, this year. So we pause for a moment while our Torah is out to some blessings of healing. So Leslie was saying the end of the Misha Berach Baruch atah Adonai Rofei HaCholim. Blessed are you, holy presence in our universe, who helps us heal the sick. So you want to invite Livy back up there to join your family, and we will dress the Torah. And then Mari, you can lead us in the Haftorah. So while Mari and Livy are dressing the Torah, what's going to happen next is Mari is going to share her Haftorah with us. So for every Shabbat, for every Torah portion, we also have a complimentary portion taken from outside of the Torah to capture some of the same themes as the Torah portion. And so in just a moment, Mari will read her Haftorah, which is from Zechariah. And if you're following along, it is on page 24 of the online CDR. You got it? Perfect. So if everybody wants to have a seat except for Mari, one more little hug. You're doing so well, Mari. We're so proud of you. And so we are on page 24. And whenever you're ready, blessing before the Haftorah.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar b'yamim tovim ratzef direchem ha'ne'emarim be'emet. Baruch atah Adonai habocher b'torah u'moshech avdo u'yisrael amo u'meviech ha'emet v'tzedek v'chaya Kohanatar, Mikol Hagoyim, Habaim, Yerushalayim, Ve'alu, Midei, Shana, V'shana, Lehisha Chavot, Melech, Adonai, Sebaot, Ve'lahog, Et HaSukot, V'chaya, Asher, Lo Ya'aleh, Me'et Mishpachot, Ha'aretz, Yerushalayim, Lechish Chavot, Melech Adonai, Tzavaot, Velo Ahem, Nihye Hagashem, Ve'im Mishpachat, Mitzrayim, Lo Ta'aleh, Velo Va'al, Velo Ahem, Tihye HaMegefa, Asher Yekov, Adonai, Ehagoyim, Asher Lo Yalu, Vahog Et HaSukot, Zod Tehiyeh Chatat Mitzrayim V'chatat Kol HaGoyim Asher Lo Yalu Vahog Et HaSukot B'yom Hachu Yeh Ametilot Chasus Kodesh Adonai V'chaya Hasirot B'beit Adonai Kamizrakim, Lifnei Hamizbeah, V'chaya Kosir Yerushalayim, Uvihuda, Kodesh Adonai Tzavaot, Uva'u Kohazov Chim, V'lachichu Mechem, Uvishlu V'achem, V'lo Yehiyeh Chene'ani Od, Bebeit Adonai Tzavaot, B'yom hachu. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam tzor kol ha'olamim tzadik b'kol darod ha'el ha'ne'eman ha'omer ve'oseh ha'medaber u'mkayem shekol darav emet v'tzedek al ha'torah al ha'avodah v'al hanvim v'al yom ha'shabbat chazeh Shatatalanu, Adonai Eloheinu, V'kdusha v'linucha, V'chavod v'tifaret. Al hakol, Adonai Eloheinu, Nachnu modim la, U'mvarchim otach, Yiparashim halefi kol hai, Tamid le'olam va'ed, Baruch atah Adonai, V'kadosh ha'Shabbat. The Torah portion I just chanted from is a special passage only read during this time of year. Describes the 4 main holidays in the time of the Torah. This gives us one version of the Jewish calendar. One of these holidays is Passover. Passover is one of the most sacred holidays in Judaism. Passover helps us tell the story of the Israelites' departure from slavery in ancient Egypt. This 7-day holiday asks people to resist eating products made with yeast. During Passover, people usually have 2 seders to mark the first 2 nights. For a seder, people usually have the 4 cups of wine and eat matzah. They also chant the 4 questions and tell the story of slavery and freedom through readings, rituals, and songs. We don't eat products with yeast because the Jews in Egypt did not have time to let their bread rise before they escaped, and so matzah is a reminder of that quick departure. If only Matzah, our cat, knew that because she has risen too much. Another one of the holidays mentioned in my portion is Shavuot. Shavuot tells a part of the Jewish story of when the Torah is revealed to Jewish people. This holiday is also associated with the early grain harvest in Torah. Shavuot means the Feast of Weeks. Shavuot also occurs 50 days after Passover, which is 7 weeks plus 1 day. Traditionally, people eat dairy on this holiday because milk can symbolize the Torah. Milk represents Torah because some people refer to it as the fluid of eternal life. The third main holiday in Yom Kippur is Yom Kippur. Yom Kippur is the holiest day of the year. Yom Kippur is when Jews ask God to forgive them for things that were wrong and to secure their lives and future. When Yom Kippur is over, a shofar, a ram's horn made into an instrument of calling, is blown. Did you know that we are actually in the middle of Sukkot, the third holy day listed in this portion? Sukkot reminds us of the 40 years when the Jews were in the desert on a mission to get to the Promised Land. Today we put up sukkahs, shelters to honor the strength Jews went through to get there on their journey. Since Sukkot is occurring right now, I thought I would talk about some of the themes of this holiday. Sukkot is like our American Thanksgiving. During Thanksgiving, you have a lot of food that has been harvested over the year, and people gather to eat it. This is also true about Sukkot, which takes place during the same time of year when the harvest is complete. Jewish farmers use the sukkah shelters to live in while they are bringing in the crops. Sukkot is when we remember the struggle Jews went through, so we put up sukkahs and spend time in them to honor our ancestors. We celebrate Sukkot by putting up booths, also called sukkahs. These booths are supposed to be temporary. Just like the shelters, the Jews use it as they are wandering from place to place, and like the temporary structures the farmers used to stay close to the fields. The Jews were walking the desert for 40 years trying to get to the Promised Land. Sukkot is one of 3 pilgrimage holiday festivals during this year. This holiday lasts for 7 days like Passover. The first day, Torah reserves for celebration, and people are forbidden from working. For the following days, you are only allowed to do some work. For the last day, there's a closing festival. During this holiday, you are supposed to take the lulav, which are 3 branches, one each from a willow tree, a myrtle, and a palm tree, and an etrog, which is a fruit that grows in Israel, and take it to the sky, ground, north, west, south, and east. Sukkot reminds me of my first time celebrating in 5th grade when I was completely new to the topic, and what you do during Sukkot. I remember feeling the cold ground on my bare legs sitting in the sukkah, and taking the time to take in what was going on around me. Looking up at the sticks and twigs and vines that gave us all shelter from the sky, and seeing everybody around me singing and chanting along. Smelling the fresh air through the openings, the fragrance of the cool autumn breeze. Touching the ground around me, realizing more than I had before. Tasting the imaginary harvest that I knew was made well by our earth. Hearing the birds chirping and the voices chattering. My first lesson about Sukkot is that some things are temporary, like the sukkah that stays up for 7 days. Sukkot teaches us the value of temporary things, because Sukkot only lasts about 7 days, and we can only spend time in the sukkah during this holiday, so we appreciate it even more. We all hope that this COVID-19 pandemic is also temporary. Sukkot is a good lesson that not everything is permanent, good things and challenging things. As I'm writing this during a pandemic, I realize I'm more in touch with nature. I see the flowers more than I did before, and I count on the sun to show itself during the day. Even though there are some cloudy days, I'm still able to find happiness during this time. I know it's hard, but for everyone, in the end, we will all look back on this with the feeling that we got through it together and we are stronger together. Even though we're not physically together, we are still able to find joy in this world. My second big lesson about Sukkot is combining nature and joy. Nature and joy go together like a mother's hand in their children. It's hard to get them to separate. We should always be thankful and grateful that we're able to make shelter out of nature. If you're not able to use nature, not everybody would get a shelter. We should cherish our time with nature and enjoy what we take for granted every day. When you look at the sukkah, you see all different types of nature. Leaves, flowers, sticks, and many more. Leaves symbolize hope and renewal, whilst flowers symbolize love and healing. All these things together make up who and what we are today. Even though some flowers are dead, this helps us remember that not everything is going to go the way we want. To combine nature and joy is love for your world. Not everybody has the same world, we all have different variations. But we all have the same nature around us that needs us to care for them. When you unite joy and nature, you're taking in everything like you do in the sukkah. Sukkot is those who journey to the Promised Land and celebrate the Eternal who protected them under harsh conditions and difficult circumstances. We don't eat products with yeast because the Jews venturing to the Promised Land did not have time to let their products rise, but we let matzah, our cat, rise and continue to rise as she lives her happy life with fancy feast. Also, this pandemic seems to be everlasting, it's only temporary, just like the sukkah. We should all appreciate nature more, especially this year. You can take a walk and notice all the shelters animals have built, and how the trees grow up and up, and the midst of the flowers continue to grow down and down. Nature is all around us. These are the things I hope you take away with you. Like Aaliyah Kay once said, the best view comes after the hardest climb.
Mari, that was so beautiful and so poignant. So I'm going to say a few words to you. So I know how hard you have worked to get to this day. You've put in so many hours and so much time, and you just blazed through it all, seemingly without even taking a breath at sometimes. I remember in 5th grade a couple years ago when we met, working with you and hearing you practice your prayers, and then calling Toby, one of the other co-teachers of the class, all worried because you were almost finished learning the 6th grade prayers, even though you were only in 5th grade. And what were we going to do, and how we had to write a whole new curriculum because you were speeding through everything. But the truth is, what is most special about you is your kindness and your positive attitude. You always got along with everyone in the class, including baby Leo, and the other students looked up to you. So I was thinking about one of the quotes that you said in the tefillah in the prayer section of our service. It was an unknown quote, and it said, "The first thing you should know about me is that I'm not you. A lot more will make sense after that." Mari, you were fun to be around. You were comfortable in your own skin. You were hardworking, and you were goofy in all of the good ways. And I believe that it's no coincidence that you became a bat mitzvah on Sukkot. It's a holiday where we are commanded to be joyful and to invite in guests, ushpizin, into our sukkahs. And it's a perfect holiday for you because it captures the best parts of who you are. We celebrate you today, all you have accomplished, and the amazing person you are and will continue to be. And so I want to offer you a special blessing, Shehechianu, which says, we are so grateful and thankful to be here at this moment in time, celebrating with you and celebrating you. So we say, Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Shehechianu V'kiyamanu V'higiyanu Lazman Hazeh. Blessed are you, Holy Presence of our universe, for giving us life, for sustaining us, and for bringing us to this special moment in time. So we have another presentation. We invite Rachel Timangu from our congregation, from our board, to share some words on behalf of CRC.
Hi, Mari. I'm Rachel Timangu, a new board member here at CRC. And on behalf of the congregation, we're so proud of you and so pleased to see you having your bat mitzvah virtually, if not in person, in our Sukkot Shalom. It's so great to have young people like yourself going through these rites of passage. My own son did just a few years ago, and I know what a meaningful day this is for you, for your family, and you should know for our entire congregation and community. On behalf of the congregation, we're going to be presenting you with a gift, a tzedakah box, so that hopefully as you continue through your life Jewishly and as a citizen of our community, you'll continue to give back and participate in Tikkun Olam, repairing the world. And as another gesture, you will be also presented with a certificate that officially recognizes you as a bat mitzvah, and that 2 trees are being planted in Israel. We're proud to present you with it in honor of your bat mitzvah. And 1 tree will be planted in a majority Jewish neighborhood, the other one in a largely Arab neighborhood. And it's our hope that one day you'll get to visit Eretz Yisrael and see these trees and the unity that we hope they're bringing to that land and to our community as our whole. So, have a wonderful day, a chance to celebrate.
So thank you, Rachel. And now before we move into the concluding blessings of our service, Mari is going to share some words about her mitzvah project, which was really special. So we're going to go back to her.
Bonnets for babies. During Sukkot, remember how the Jews were protected from difficult desert circumstances on their way to the Promised Land. When I reflected on this, I thought about the challenges people face in their lives today. I realized that some babies are born into difficult circumstances, and I set out to help newborn babies in need. For my mitzvah project, I combined my love of babies and crafts and decided to make hats for newborns in need. With the help of family and friends and donations of yarn, we have all made over 100 hats to donate to the Sweet Babies organization. Sweet Babies provides new mothers who need assistance with clothing items for the newborns. I learned how to crochet hats for this project, and through this, I was able to learn about how our community can help new mothers with their children's basic needs. Sweet Babies helps over 70 families per month, nearly 1,000 families per year. As we get into fall and slowly into winter, we are helping newborns go home with warm heads and loving support. I am so grateful for all the help from friends and family, including Nana and Freya, who helped me reach my goal of 100 hats, Miss Tucker, who donated lots of yarn to support this project, and my cousin Hannah, who taught me how to crochet over FaceTime.
That's so special, Mari. And I know people will be so grateful for the work you've put into your mitzvah project. I am going to hand things over to Rabbi Susan now, who will begin concluding our service.
Thank you for your beautiful teaching, Mari, and also for your wonderful mitzvah project. The words of the Aleinu remind us that we take upon us, Aleinu, the challenges that come both from Torah and from the brokenness in the world. And with your beautiful teaching of reminding us that these holy days can help us, be a guide for us, through difficult times especially. Hopefully we'll all take on, as you have, we'll take upon us the challenge to make the world a sweeter and warmer and kinder place. So we join together. Aleinu Latet Gedula Liotzer Bereshit Shelo Asanu Kagoye Haratzot Velo Samanu Kamishpachot Ha'adama Shelo Sam Chelkenu Kachem Vegor Aleinu Kachol Hamonam Ve'anachnu Korim Umishtachavim Umodim Lefnei Malchei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu V'ne'emar V'haya Adonai Lamelech al kol haaretz Bayom hahu Yiyeh Adonai echad Ushemo echad. And now at the end of every service, before we shower you with more blessings from your family and, get on to the celebration of this day, we always pause to remember those who are not with us physically. So there are lots of people I hope you can feel there with you who may not be with us physically, but are certainly with us spiritually from the next world. And in every service, and especially at this time of year during these holy days that you spoke so beautifully about, we miss the people that we've spent them with, people who have given our lives meaning. And I know your family is especially thinking about your grandfather, Martin Silverstein, and your great-grandparents as well. Your great-great-grandfather who gave you that beautiful talit that you wear today. I hope you feel them all. We're also, of course, mourning for the people who have died of this disease, COVID-19, and other diseases that we cannot yet completely cure. We're thinking about the people who die of things we can help, like hunger and homelessness. And And of course, those ones that we have lost in this past year. So as we think of them, as we hold on to their coattails, please say with us these ancient words, words that don't mention death, but celebrate the gift of life. We say together, Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, b'yalma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayachon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayerecho beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'vizman kariv ve'imru, amen. Yehei shmei Rabba mevarach leolam olmei olmaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yitalei v'yitalal shmei dekudesha barichu, la'elam min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechamata da'amiran be'alma, ve'imru, amen. Yehei shalom Rabba min shemaya v'chayim, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru, amen. Oseh shalom b'mirmav, u'ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru, amen. May the source of peace truly bring peace to all of you who are in mourning, and peace to the bereaved among us as we say together, amen.
Now we take a few moments to congratulate Mari with some very special people. So we first will see a video from her Aunt Katie, her Uncle Tim, and her cousin Freya.
Hey Mari, great job.
Good on you, Mari. We're very proud of you.
Mari, we love you so much.
And next, we have one more video from Uncle Fritz and Aunt Jenny.
Congratulations, Mari!
We love you. We're so proud of you, love. Congrats.
Congrats!
So, Mari, I hope you're feeling the love of your family, and now we invite up your parents, Julie and Chris, to share some words to you.
Mari, when you were 10 years old and halfway through 4th grade, you approached us and asked if you could go to Hebrew school. Primarily at first because you wanted to learn how to speak Hebrew. Thanks to the flexibility of this great congregation, you were able to start Hebrew school that year. From the beginning, you demonstrated sincere commitment and worked hard with a Hebrew teacher to catch up to your peers, as you had started 1.5 years later than most. Your journey to this day is exemplary of the kind of person that you are and highlights the traits that I admire and find inspirational. You are extremely hardworking, as has been said, and put all of yourself into the things that you love and commit to. As I think our slide montage will show, you are multifaceted, and I think probably more well-rounded than I ever was at your age. You are passionate about music and are becoming a very talented pianist and violist. You also have a love for the visual arts and have tremendous artistic talent, which I have to admit comes from your father. At the beginning of 6th grade, you enthusiastically entered a drawing contest to design the logo on the front of your school's 6th grade camp t-shirt, and did not surprise us when you won. You also have an admirable, strong sense of self. Since a very young age, you have exerted your opinions, presented convincingly strong arguments, and exuded confidence. In the 5th grade, your teacher gave you an assignment to write a persuasive argument, and that you did. You and your close friend wrote and illustrated 8 pages outlining the reasons why you should be able to bring a woolly mammoth to school. By the end, you had us all convinced that your woolly mammoth would solve your classroom problems. As you have gone through middle school, a stage in life that many of us would be happy to forget, you have maintained a strong identity and navigated through challenges while maintaining your focus and attention on people and activities that make you grow. You are also a great friend and really truly hilarious. We have heard over and over again from your teachers and rabbis that you are consistently kind to others, empathetic, and eager to help. When you were in preschool, your wit and sarcasm surprised and amazed your teachers. I think you may even be wittier and funnier than your father. You were also very responsible, perhaps beyond what is normally expected at your age. You started doing your own laundry a couple of years ago when you got tired of running out of clothes and we didn't do it in a timely manner. You often take initiative to help with chores and get dinner started to make things easier for us when we get home from work. And although your sister, Livy, is not always on board because she also has a strong sense of self, you are generous with your time and eager to help her with homework, cleaning her room, and other things.
Not true.
Despite the difficulties and challenges that you and the rest of us are experiencing in this pandemic, you really stepped up to the plate from the beginning to help our family change its schedule and adapt to an ever-changing situation. And for this, I will be forever grateful. And you do all these things with a smile. Mari, as has been said, you were named after your grandfather, Marty, who unfortunately you never got to meet. I am sure that he's looking down today with a big, proud smile. In his forever optimistic and teddy bear way, he would be telling you how amazing you are and how proud of you he is of all of your accomplishments. And Mari, we are all incredibly proud of you. I love you. Don't cry.
Mari, when you were born, you didn't cry immediately. And the world stood still for a few moments until you took a breath and cried out. And once you found your voice, with the force and impact of that moment, I had to sit down. This was the first of many life moments that you have made profound and impactful. We both remember your first notes on the viola. We all remember your first swish of a buzzer beater three-pointer. And we remember that moment of resolve when you announced that you wanted to start Hebrew school and become a Bat Mitzvah. We have witnessed all the hard work and dedication you have dedicated to Hebrew school, to learning about Judaism, your heritage, and identity, and all of your passions. We have seen there's no limit to what you can do, and no limit to the impact that you can make with your resolve and your care. In your lifetime, you have seen incredible moments of human progress and stunning reminders of how far and how much further we have to go. And with this as a backdrop, today we have heard your voice once more as you've read from the Torah and shared your guidance about the lessons we keep in mind as we observe Sukkot. From the moment you were born to this moment of your ascent to Jewish womanhood, we have heard your voice. We celebrate your voice. Your words resonate, and they are consequential. And now we can all take our seats in this moment that you have made profound. We love you, Mari. Positive.
So we're going to invite Livy to come on up and join your family. And you should have a challah somewhere, maybe? Is there a beautiful challah somewhere? So you should, everyone should know Judy Glazer, Amy Gage's mom, who we affectionately call Grandma Judy, baked you this challah for your bat mitzvah. And do you have a kiddush cup also? A cup of grape juice or wine? Okay. So we're going to start by holding up the kiddush cup. And Mari, you want to hold it? Mm-hmm. And we'll all join together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Okay, we'll take a sip. You can take a sip, or somebody else can take a sip. Livy, that's a great face. Okay, and now let's take one more sip. We got to celebrate. And now we will.
You want some, Livy?
No.
Let's bless this beautiful. Yeah, you got to get the water in after the wine. I totally agree. Let's bless this beautiful challah. So we'll say, you want to do it, Mari? Baruch atah Adonai
Eloheinu melech haolam.
hamotzi
Lechem min haaretz. Amen.
That is perfect. You can take a little bite if you want to. Anybody can take a bite. Who wants to take a bite? And we have one more thing to do. We are going to send you and your family on your way with blessings. And then after we are done, I've been told you should go outside because there might be some special people waiting outside to celebrate with you and your family. So if you want to put your arms around each other up there, your whole family, and Rabbi Susan and I are going to outstretch our hands, and we are going to send you away with some blessings. So Rabbi Susan, you want to start?
Yevarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May all that is good and high and holy continue to guard over you and keep you safe.
Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chunecha. And may you take some of the light and warmth you felt on this wonderful celebratory Shabbat and take it out into our world to continue the hard work of making it a better place.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May all that is good and high and holy bless you with shalom, bless you with peace in your heart, in your home, in our community, and God willing soon, because we have had the privilege of being led in prayer and taught Torah by Mari today. May the whole world be a little closer to shalom, to peace. So we say amen and mazel tov.
Mazel tov, Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you.